was already too late.
The government is resorting to drastic...
Well, welcome back, adventurers, and I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe out there on your adventures. This is another review episode with yours truly, Iron Enoch, and I'm looking forward to this one because I'm a pretty big fan of this series. But first off, I would like to thank Ubisoft for giving me access to the regional beta for this game, Division Resurgence. I'm honestly very happy to be able to be a part of this and to be able to try out the game before it's officially released next year. So I've got several things to cover with some gameplay, some feature, and a few other kind of things here and there. But before we go into all of that and you guys hear me ramble on for a lot of stuff, how about you guys just watch the first about 10 or so minutes of gameplay? It's going to cover the opening cinematics as well as the tutorial for the game. So go ahead and go watch that. I got this ready for you. And then after that, we'll come back and discuss a few things. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.
It happened in just a few weeks. Our own greed did us in. And before we knew it, the dollar flu spread like wildfire. A few weeks. That's how long it took for a civilization to collapse.
The governor of New York has asked for federal help as city services are collapsing.
Manhattan was being torn apart. So they locked it down. Or tried. But it was already too late.
The government is resorting to drastic measures to tackle the crisis.
We will not stand idly by while our great country crumbles. Decisive measures must be employed. That is why the President today has decided to invoke Directive 51.
So they finally activated us. The Strategic Homeland Division. An elite group of embedded agents. We walk among you. We are you. Until we are activated. Then we leave everything behind to answer the call. When all else fails, we are the last resort, the last line of defense. And we will give our lives to save what remains.
Welcome, Agent Candidate, to your virtual pre-testing session. This simulation will assess your SHD recruit potential. As your division recruiter, I will be evaluating your performance today. And we'll start with body awareness and basic movement. Show me what you got. Excellent. Now, let's put that into some context. Complete the obstacle course. Well done. Let's move on to the next module. Agents must maintain expert-level proficiency with a wide variety of small arms. Good. Let's increase the range a bit. Well done. Now let's see you deal with moving targets. Good shot. Let's see how you perform with a sniper rifle. Excellent. I've marked you as Go for marksmanship. The effect of a well-placed grenade on multiple targets shouldn't be underestimated. And that concludes the weapons and marksmanship module. Good job so far, candidate. In this next module, we'll assess cover tactics and basic combat skills. Whenever possible, a smart agent will move from cover to cover to outmaneuver and flank the enemy. Good. Now let's increase the stress level a bit. Your objective is to reach the end of the corridor and destroy the hostile turret. And don't get killed. You must learn to anticipate the time windows when the turret stops firing. These will be your opportunity to counterattack or advance to another cover. That concludes the cover tactics module. Well done. If a hostile gets too close, you need to whack him hard with whatever you got good. Okay, candidate. This last module will assess your intuitive use of... You have two primary shaped tech devices at your disposal. Employ these to eliminate the enemy.
Go! Those bastards!
The most powerful tech in your arsenal is your signature device. Deploy it to turn the table on your enemy.
Holy shit!
Demonstrate to me how you handle yourself in a combat situation, with all the weapons and devices at your disposal.
Signature ability ready.
Stop that dumbass hiding! Oh shit! What is this? Yeah!
concludes the final pre-testing session. I'm happy to confirm that you've been accepted as an agent recruit. Now the training begins in earnest, and then let's hope we're never activated.
Well, welcome back, guys. What'd you think of the gameplay and the cinematics? Honestly, I was pretty impressed to see all that when I started up the game for the first time and everything. It was pretty good, surprisingly, especially on the phone that I actually used to record everything. Let's go ahead and get into some other stuff about the game. So first off, just in case you didn't know, that is Tom Clancy's The Division Resurgence, which is a free-to-play multiplayer third-person looter shooter for mobile. And it's set to be released from Ubisoft sometime in 2024. We don't have an official date quite yet, at the time of this video anyway. And it takes place in the same world as Divisions 1 and 2, although the story is completely separate from the two games. Well, not completely, but somewhat. You'll end up finding out in the future. So you actually play as a Wave 1 agent in New York City, but due to some reasons in the game, I'm going to try to avoid some spoilers because there is quite a bit of a narrative to this game. Due to those kind of reasons, you're actually playing the game about a month or so after the outbreak and the events of the first game. Essentially, after all that, you are coming back to New York, trying to clean up after some new baddies have moved in, so to speak. But also some other kind of issues with agents and stuff like that as well. Because again, this is happening kind of after the first game, so you do run into some characters from both the first and second games, such as Lei Fao and several other agents that you know, and then other ones by name. So a lot of that ends up happening. So my initial thoughts of the game, if I'm being completely honest, I thought the game was going to be one of those you're kind of locked in place. You just pop out of cover and shoot at some baddies that run up every once in a while and things like that. And then once you clear an area, the game automatically moves you to the next zone, so to speak, or whatever. Absolutely 100% dead wrong. The game is not like that. It is quite literally, if you took Division 1 and 2, combined them with some of the mechanics and everything, downgraded the graphics a lot, downsized the world a lot, and just took out a few things here and added a few other kind of functions and put it on mobile. It is 100% free roam exploration of the map, complete cover system, taking cover behind anything, freely choosing, as well as cover to cover movie mechanics and all that kind of good stuff that made Division 1 2 great. It's all in there, as you guys saw in the video, as well as some other clips you'll be seeing. All in all, I am very impressed with the game, and I'll kind of get into why. I'll probably say the main thing is that everything you've seen so far, all the footage and such, is captured on my Samsung Note 9, and it's kind of old, so I was only able to play the game on medium settings. But besides that, it actually worked very well. So some cons is some graphical issues, some things not loading quite properly that I found. Sometimes I would run into an area, take cover, and like a cinematic would happen, and then when it comes back to me, then all of a sudden I would not be behind cover and a little further back. That's probably how the mission was designed, but other times I would still be behind cover. So I'm not entirely sure if that is a graphical issue or just kind of a few things here and there. It was a little annoying to like already be in cover, a cinematic gets tripped, and then when it's over, you're being shot all of a sudden and your health is considerably down. That was a little annoying. Again, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a graphical issue or just how the missions were designed. I'm not entirely sure. But besides all that, honestly, I don't really have too many gripes with the game. Mainly because I found a lot of pretty positive things about it, and I honestly couldn't find or think of anything negative to say about the game. When it comes to what I've played of it so far, honestly, it feels like I'm playing the console PC editions of Division 1 and 2. They're just made to be more friendly for a mobile device. Some of the cool features that I found with the game, it has a lot of the same things that you're familiar with, as like the inventory, how all that works. There is only a primary and secondary. There is no handgun, at least so far from what I found. You still have all of your typical loot and stuff like that. You get weapons, craft materials, all that good jazz. Pretty similar stuff, really. It feels very reminiscent of the first two games, which I'm very happy with. But some extra stuff that they did put in, well, actually, they have like, you know, the map functions, the friend function, clan function, all that's in there. So again, it feels very much like you're playing the first two games. Like, it's not an extremely watered down version at all. It's not like they cut out completely half the game. A lot of the functions that you would normally see in the first two games is in this one too. The apparel, character customization, everything. So it's not like they cut out any like massive systems from like the other two games. It's more like they just took everything that the two games had, but they just watered or simplified all of those things down to make it work. So I'd probably say one of the coolest things that I was actually pretty happy to see is the upgrading, or the level upgrade system, I should say. So you know how in the first two games where as soon as you get your hands on some loot, you get yourself decked out, but as you're playing, you're picking up better loot that is scaling to your character's level. So at that point, you're just constantly equipping, re-equipping, all sorts of stuff like that, and discarding or dismantling old weapons that potentially some of those guns or gear you actually liked and you wanted to keep it on, but you wanted the next, or you know, you kind of wanted the next best level thing to keep increasing. Well, in this one, you actually can hang on to that early game gear that you get your hands on, especially the guns, and hang on to it longer with the level up system. So as you are leveling up your character, you are also running around doing missions, completing tasks, and you're getting crafting materials. And then so far from what I found, the only thing that I've been able to use the crafting materials on is upgrading guns and gear. So you can actually go in and you can still equip mods and everything to your guns, do all that kind of stuff, and your gear has mod slots. Yes, all that's still in this game as well. But the way that it works is that you can use the crafting material to upgrade the level of your guns and your gear to your character's current max level. So as soon as you level up a couple times, you can just wait, you know, to go up 2-3 levels, and then upgrade your guns and your gear to that same level with you without needing to constantly switch out other gear. Now, this doesn't upgrade the quality of the items, so you're gonna have, you know, your epics and worn exotics, all that kind of stuff. That doesn't upgrade, but as you are going through the game, you will pick up new stuff that will be better quality, so then you can just equip that, swap out, then you can finally swap out the older stuff that you don't need anymore and either junk it, sell it, or dismantle it to use those crafting materials to upgrade the other things. So I will say this is very nice because typically with these games, probably one of the biggest things that I would normally find a couple guns that I'm very happy with and I want to keep, but then what ends up happening is, oh, well, you leveled up several times, now you got another gun that's way better, and you know, this other one's just now, it is just now obsolete. Where in this game, you can actually hang on to it. I've been hanging on to this same AR and SMG and sniper rifle that I found since I was like level, I don't know, 3, and I'm like level 15 now. And I've been hanging on the exact same guns now. And actually, same thing. I haven't switched on like my backpacks and stuff like that for better stuff because I've been finding more of that, which is surprising. Not too many guns, but I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm actually hoping that they might put this function into Division 3 and Heartlands. Depending on how Heartland exactly goes, they might not need it, but definitely for 3, that would be a pretty nice function to have. I'm actually pretty pleased with it. Some other kind of things that I'm pretty happy with is the open world. Instead of just matchmaking straight up, like, oh, you look for a mission or you're just looking for people that are doing either main mission, side missions, exploring, or anything like that, there's a team system. So as far as I can understand it, I never went into it in full depth, but from what I understand so far is that you can create a team and then you can designate, okay, this is what the team is currently doing. And you can even browse what other teams are out there. So it doesn't, you can just do a quick matchup or matchmake and you'll be just thrown into another team with somebody else, or you can actually browse other teams on your server and see what they are doing and then join in on that. So that's kind of a cool thing. There's also a lot of other options for the text chat now. You can do multiple different things like people in the world, people in your general area, teams, all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty big when it comes to that. So it's pretty easy to talk with people, which is kind of nice. Another cool thing that I actually noticed when I was running around is you can actually bump into and play alongside other agents in the free roam. So when I left the first settlement that you come across and I was heading to one of the missions, it was a couple blocks away. As I was heading there, there's another agent, another player, just going the same direction. He was heading the same. It was a lot of fun. It was only a single player and very story driven, but the level of detail and everything, it was pretty impressive. So yeah, I mean, some other kind of games out there, you got like the Modern Combat franchise, which honestly is going down the drain, if I'm being honest. I'm not too impressed with their more recent games. Their older ones are better, but even then still. This game is honestly really good. And I am looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in the future. The fact that this is a regional beta test right now is where I got all this footage and gameplay so far. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do and if they're going to listen to the feedback they're receiving about this game. Time will only tell, so we will see what happens. But when it drops, I'm going to be here for it. So I'm definitely going to be excited about playing it. The fact that you could just take it and when you're out and about, you're waiting for someone or anything like that, you just need to kill a little bit of time. You can pretty quickly log in, do a mission in 15, 20 minutes, and then there you go. Right there on your phone, all done. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the future of this game, as well as the other Division games that are coming out too. I am excited, and I hope you are too. So that's everything I got for you guys right now. I hope this was at least somewhat informative for you guys, and you gleaned a little bit of information about the game. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode, or in the next stream, or video, or what have you. So with that, I hope you guys stay safe. And as always, keep it classy.